prizes for. That's not going to happen, you know. But I can pray for dignity, grace, strength, patience. And every time I've asked for those things and then taken that action in the next contrary way, I have been granted that. I have been granted that. Like I said, I got a 22-year-old kid that'll walk up, kiss me on the cheek, and say, "I love you, Pops," right in front of all of his friends. My father, who hung the moon for me, he was my hero. But he just didn't have the tools, man. And I learned to forgive all that, too. Because I understood that this man's tools were, he was only working with what he had. I remember when I was little, I'd say, "I love you, Dad," and he'd go, "All right."
Friday, 98?
It's like the most Pittsburgh answer ever. "I love you." "Okay, good, good, good." That's good. But he's, you know, a Vietnam vet, a Navy guy, grew up in a steel mill town. There are a lot of places for him to be sensitive. He didn't know how to do that. I learned to forget that. My mother made me responsible for our family when they got divorced. At 15, I was working a 40-hour work week in a warehouse, being told, "If you don't work, this family's going to be homeless." You're not supposed to get that. But I've learned to forgive her because she was just trying to keep a roof over her children's heads. Now, I couldn't get those perspectives until I did my inventory here in AA. And what I did learn was that forgiveness is not for them. I'm not a benevolent God. I can't absolve them. The act of forgiveness is for me. It's so that I don't have to carry any resentment. It's so that I can get rid of my fear. And it's most importantly so that I can look from a different angle at the person that I'm upset with and maybe see that they have a plight as well. It says it right in our big book. When we do the inventory, when we do resentment, I'm resentful at so-and-so. The cause, you know, whatever they did, that made me too responsible for my age, for a family. Okay, what does it affect? Well, it affects my sex relations, my personal relations, my ambition, my pocketbook, my self-esteem. And when those things are affected, that's what sets off the defect cannon. Because now that those things are threatened, now I'm self-righteous, I'm intolerant, I'm impatient, I'm self-seeking, I'm grandiose, I'm arrogant, I'm a liar. And I own all that stuff. And I always end that defect list with not trusting God and playing God. Why? Because I don't trust that God can handle this. I better. And playing God, well, I know how it should run. And there's been trouble every time. And then the last part of that inventory is the most important part. It's how we reverse engineer all that stuff. I am unwilling to accept that my mom is a child of God and perhaps spiritually so just like me. And I say perhaps because I don't get to put the stamp on her. I don't get to judge her. I don't get to decide. But if I can consider that she might have a little bit of what I have, it's just in different areas, then I can understand what gets her to her behavior. And therefore, my defects calm down. Then my sex relations, personal relations, ambition, pocketbook, self-esteem, and ego are not affected. Then that cause doesn't hurt, and then I'm no longer resentful of that person. And my promise for that, my faith for that, is 6 and 7. Step 6 and 7. And again, if you guys are new in here and you ain't been through your steps yet, just keep listening. If a little bit of this gets on you tonight, we're doing our job. Okay, just keep coming back. Stay here long enough to catch alcoholism. Start speaking the language of the heart, because that's where your power lies. So now, once I do all that work with my sponsor, then I got to do 6 and 7. 6 is I'm ready for you to have this, God. I'm just making the decision to let you have it. That's what step 6 is. Step 7 is my promise. Take these defects from me, God. Grant me strength as I go out here to do your bidding. And it's in doing that whatever the answer to the problem I have with that person, place, or thing, it happens. And I can't explain it to you. You just have to take the leap of faith. You know, they call it in the book the intuitive whisper. Okay, some people call it the Holy Spirit. Whatever. You might hear it from a song. You may talk to your sponsor, do your prayers, turn a song on, and there's a perfect lyric. And if you're paying attention to this thing, you go, "Holy shit, there's the answer." You may hear it from another AA who went, "Well, I went through that, and here's what I did." Or you may just, in the busyness of helping someone else, because you're clear to that, you'll hear the way you can, you're intuitively able to do things we couldn't before. And that's happened over and over again. And the more it happens, the more you believe. The more you believe, the more you're willing to do it. The beginning part is the hardest. That's the hardest part to trust is this thing, because it is much easier to snort a line of coke, take 8 ounces of vodka, hit a joint,
8 ounces,
gamble, any of those self-soothing things that we do. And once we do that, then we feel okay for a minute, but we're really deluded from ourselves. So when that wears off, now we feel guilt over what was bothering us, plus the fact we got screwed up. And what do we do for the answer? We get more screwed. So you're pouring gas on the fire, and it just takes time. But trusting a little bit at a time is the key. So also said when he first started sponsoring me, he said, look, man, I want to make a deal with you the first week, okay? I just want you to tell me the truth.